All right, folks, just got back from Coons Market and work, did a little grocery shopping, and yeah, getting ready for that Penguins game tomorrow night. You know, America runs on Dunkin', as in Dunkin' Donuts, and it is a delicious cup of coffee, but it's an interesting conversation right now. Joining us on the Comcast Newsline here in the Pratte Pack Gym, I am honored, a longtime member of the Pittsburgh community. He, of course, educated here, married, raising his family, an entrepreneur. Technology is the name of the game when it comes to Raja. For a number of years, hosted an incredible radio show, but very busy right now. A lot of heavy lifting, including being the head of the Republican Party in Allegheny County. And I thought because of companies like Apple and Microsoft and Google and so many others speaking out against the president pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement, that he would be a good guy to talk about that story. And now with this Pittsburgh versus Paris event happening, in which the president is putting on this weekend, Robert Mangino is traveling there. He'll join me in the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow. And earlier today, Vice President Michael Pence on News Radio 1020 KDK, that Raja would be the perfect guy to talk to for a number of reasons. But in particular, one of the things that he taught me during his radio show, and he taught me a lot, was that the technology jobs of today are really the blue-collar jobs of what we remember growing up in Western Pennsylvania back during the height of the steel industry, and at one time over 250,000 jobs there. The president has been talking about making America great again. He continues to support the coal community when a lot of people have turned a deaf ear to it. He's saying that there's a possibility of close to 3 million jobs that could be lost because of this Paris Climate Agreement. So let's make some sense of it now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Raja right here in the Pratte Pack Gym. Raja, it's good to hear your voice again. Great to have you with me. And you were the first person I thought of when this story started to develop today. So what do you make of all of this?
Well, first of all, it's a delight to be back on the air with you. President Trump is holding a campaign promise, and he's absolutely right. I know a lot of the tech community has not been in support of President Trump pulling out of the support. But I got to tell you, it certainly is not good for Pittsburgh. Rob, I got to tell you, yesterday I was at an event, and I ran into a gentleman, his name was David Allo, and they had a coal company, I think, for 3 generations. And he said he just shut it down, a few years ago. These are jobs that we had here that are gone right now. And here's the thing, Rob. What President Trump said is, this deal is a bad deal for America. And I agree with him. And I give you a couple instances why. We are, subsidizing a lot of these other countries. I think President Obama committed, I think, $3 billion up front. And many of the other countries don't. And a country like China, I think they actually increase carbon emissions to like 2030. And that's when they are required to curtail this. So I just don't think it's a fair playing field. And it certainly hurts a region like Pittsburgh. Rob, you and I have talked about this. We are a manufacturing city, in a coal, steel, and now Marcellus, all of it. It's certainly not good for us.
Sundar Pichai of Google, Tim Cook of Apple, Brad Smith of Microsoft. Why do you think they're so against him doing this? What's in it for these technology companies as far as trying to make people think green worldwide that they do business with moving forward, Raja?
I can't really guess what their thought process is, but many of these companies are global companies, Rob. So maybe they're looking at it from a perspective of, hey, we are a global company. But what President Trump said is, put America first. Put America first. We're going to make America great again. So I think that may be the difference.
In closing, coal still does matter in this region, and I'm not ready to toss in the towel yet. Why do you think the president has been so vehement as far as standing up for the coal community, the manufacturing community, when many people have laughed at him? Even Michael Pence was talking about that statement that went viral that President Trump digs the coal community and digs the coal mining industry. Why do you think that's so important to a guy who really came from gaming, real estate, and the entertainment world before becoming president?
Because it's about fundamental jobs, Rob. Yeah, President Trump has talked about this. He drew the working class Democrats over to his side. They all voted for him because of one thing. And I think because they put their families, their welfare, their personal lives first, which is what President Trump did do. He wants to make sure we have a strong economy. And we lose these gold jobs, and China, is actually, I heard one of the things is China is gearing up to pick up these jobs from shut down coal mines in our country.
Well, it amazes me, from Goldman Sachs to people like Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, Michael Bloomberg, they have really all spoke out against the president. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens this weekend with this Pittsburgh versus Paris rally that the president is putting on and supporting himself in the administration. And Robert Mangino will be there. You'll hear him throughout the weekend on News Radio 1020 KDK. He'll be live with me on the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh Newsline coming up at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Plus, I will re-air his interview with Vice President Michael Pence in the very first hour of the program, right after CBS Radio News at 5. Raja, I'm a big fan, sir. Thank you so much, and have a good weekend.
You too, Rob. Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.